Hey, heart seekers, welcome to the Heart's Hello Show, where we believe that our hearts are the foundation of our well being and happiness. I am your host, Kiana Telena. Today, we're going to be embarking on a journey through the complex terrain of life's metaphorical landmines, those hidden obstacles that can derail our progress and well being. So before we begin, I need you to think of a movie that you have seen where they have gotten caught in a landmine field. They didn't know it, but they were set out on a mission. And as they were on this mission, one of the individuals with them accidentally steps on a landmine. Now, most of the time, unfortunately, that individual who steps on the first landmine, he doesn't make it. But what it does cause the others with them is to stop and think. Stop, think, and strategize on how they're going to get through this landmine field. Because the mission doesn't stop just because you've hit this obstacle. The mission continues until you have reached the end. So now I want you to think about what hidden landmines do you have? What are some of the things that you have placed in a closet that you haven't touched, you are afraid to talk about, that when the thought of it even comes up, you cringe? Well, I need you to think about and to pull out all of those landmines. I know that it's difficult. Some of you all are going to have to go back to elementary, middle, high school. It could have been yesterday. But in order for you to get to where you're going, not only are you going to have to recognize that those hidden obstacles and landmines are there, but also you're going to have to disarm them because they're there. And unfortunately, they're derailing your progress and your well-being. Have you ever tried to tiptoe past something and then you accidentally knock something over? You were being as careful as you possibly could, not making a sound. But how uncomfortable is it when you have to tiptoe around something and you have to feel like you're walking on eggshells as opposed to just being able to walk normal? You have to think about it a little different. You have to make sure, is the person listening? Can they hear? Am I making too much noise? Oh my gosh, I made a squeak. Like, you have to consciously think about trying to avoid a landmine. Now, think about how that deals with your psyche. Every time something comes up, it's now triggering you. That's a landmine. How many landmines have you planted throughout the years? Some of you all are standing in a live land field and afraid to move because you have planted so many landmines that you don't know where to step. Not only can you not move back, you can't move forward, you can't move to your sides because there's so many different things that you have not dealt with in your life. In the last episode, we talked about being able to face that mirror, and it's us versus us, you versus you, me versus me. And so the same thing applies to these landmines. They're almost like a blind spot. But we have to dig them up. We have to disarm them. Because if we don't, we're going to constantly be tiptoeing through life. And you know that when you tiptoe, you don't move as fast. You're constantly thinking about where to step next as opposed to where the destination is and what you have to do in order to get there. It's just one more thing that you have to think about that you shouldn't have to think about to get to your destination. So we have to disarm them. But in order for us to disarm them, we first have to recognize that they're there. And for some of us, and I say us, because we have to be able to hold ourselves accountable for the very things that we know to be true about us. If we're constantly thinking about what everyone else did and not what role we played in it, that landmine is going to be harder to disarm because we have now placed the onus on someone else as opposed to the onus being on us. Now, granted, there will be things in life that others play a part in, but no one can play a part in our life without us having to also play a role in it as well. So when I'm talking about us being able to disarm some of those landmines, when you get to that landmine to disarm it, you now have to ask yourself, why did I plant this here? Why did I feel the need to bury this? What was going on with me? What was the self-doubt that I had? What was the shame that I was dealing with? What was the guilt that I was dealing with where I had to plant this here? And how long is it going to stay here? Because every time I step, I feel like this could be it. It's an uncomfortable situation. And so, granted, I understand that sometimes it's difficult to deal with, but this fear, it's not helpful when we have places to go, things to do, and ways that we have to serve. See, these landmines, these spots are treacherous. And in order for us to navigate through life, we have to recognize that they're there. And is it something that we have to deal with? Yes. Will it hurt? Maybe. But would you rather deal with it now or 10 years down the road when you're in a full-blown out war and you have this landmine field that you're standing on, but you can't move? So again, we're talking about these metaphorical landlines, but they're tied to our emotions. They're tied to our personal growth. They're tied to our happiness, our success. So we have to recognize what these patterns are. We have to recognize what these behaviors are and the situations that have gotten us stuck in the first place. So I need you just to take a quick second to think about, you don't have to write down a full list of them, although you should. At some point, I just need you to think about just one. Just think about one pattern that you may have, or one behavior that you have, one situation that has you stuck. And I need you to think about, is this the first time that this situation has had you in this same spot? Most of you all can truly and honestly say, no, you've been here before. Why? Because you've planted the landmine. Instead of dealing with it, you've planted it. And so now here you are again on this same path and you've gotten stuck. See, these landmines, they're hidden for a reason. And by the time we stumble upon them again, we're back in the same position. We're back to a place where we are trying to move forward, but we can't because we have this landmine that is holding us back. And we only realize that it's there again because we've stepped on it. We've now triggered the landmine. And when you've seen the movie, by the time they realize that the landmine is there, they can hear the click. But if they take their foot off of the landmine, what happens? It blows up. So now here you are on this field with your foot on this landmine. You can't take it off. What do? You stand there. You remain stuck in the very place that you have been stuck in before. So I'm here to help you disarm the landmine. So I know you're standing there and you're visualizing yourself with your foot on this landmine, and you don't want it to go left like it did before, because you know that in order for you to get to your next mission, in order for you to complete the mission, in order for you to continue this journey, you're going to have to do something different. It's like the definition of insanity. You're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, this time, guess what? You showed up to the right podcast. You showed up to the right episode, because we're going to take some time to disarm every landmine that you have placed. I know that it may take some time, but you're worth it. I know that it may hurt, but you're worth it. I know that it may hurt some other people with what you may have to say or how you may have to move, but it's worth it, because you're worth it. I say it almost in every podcast. In order for you to get to the next level, in order for you to understand you more, you're going to first have to put your mask on. You can't help anyone else until you help you first. And no, it's not selfish. It's not selfish to put you first. It is not selfish to put you first. I believe it is. The word states that you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. So guess what? You can't love your neighbor unless you love yourself, right? So that means you had to put you first. All right? So one of the things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to be aware of what these landmines are. There has to be some sort of awareness. We're going to have to recognize that when we're approaching these landmines, that we're going to have to pay special attention to our thoughts and our emotions. What pops up in our mind? How do we feel? And so this is when this journaling comes in, because you need a place to write these things down. You can no longer suppress how you feel. You're out in life showing up as if everything is okay, but you're a pressure cooker down on the inside. And when someone says one bad thing, now you are ticked off. When we were talking about that landmine being underneath and our foot being on it, we heard it trigger, but now someone has triggered you and you've taken your foot off of it. It's blown up. So what emotions does whatever have transpired in your life? Remember, I said I want you to think of, if it's a pattern, a behavior, a situation, whatever it is that has you stuck, I need you to get that on your mind. What does it bring up in you? If it was something that transpired when you were a little child, how old were you? What happened? And do you realize that that child has been driving your bus for all of these years? You're not in control for this particular situation. When this happens, that child steps in. And so sometimes we're dealing with people who may be 40s, 50s, and 60s, but they're still stuck at 15 because they still have these landmines that they haven't dealt with. I don't want that for you. I want better for you. So I need you to be aware of what it is. Write it down. And I need you to, secondly, challenge the negative belief that comes up. That you're not good enough, that you don't deserve enough, that you can't have that job because you don't have the credentials, that you can't start that business because something else in your life you may have started and it didn't go well. I'm here to tell you that that's a lie. I like to say it this way, that the only thing the opposition has against you is you. The only thing the opposition can do is to throw thoughts. So nothing has happened. the only thing that pops up is going to be the thought of you not being able to achieve something. And so what if you have done something before, started something before, and it didn't work out? That one didn't. Okay, fine. But this one can. I remember that I used to do pop-up shows around Christmas time. And the very first one didn't do well at all. But that didn't stop me from doing a second one, a third one, because I realized that that one might not have worked out as well as I thought it should have. But I can't allow the devil, I can't allow the opposition to come in and tell me that it won't work, because I know that it can. So I had to dig up the landmine that I had put down, saying, I'm not going to do this again. And it wasn't just with the pop-up events that things didn't work out. I've put on other events where it didn't go as I thought it should. And then there were events that I figured that they weren't going to do well at all, and they did. But I had to recognize when those thoughts popped up that, oh no, it didn't work out the last time. Do you know that if every time something didn't work out and you stopped, how far you would be? Not far at all, right? Do you realize that when you were learning to drive a car, you didn't get it right the first time? You may have been stopping and going, still trying to just figure out the pedal from the brake and the turning and the parallel parking and all of these different things. But when you hop in a car now, you don't even think about it. It comes second nature to you. It's almost like they say, once you learn how to ride a bike, you never forget it. Why? Because you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. The same way that a negative thought can pop up, so can a positive thought. So every time that negative thought pops up, there has to be a positive thought that's going to counter it. This is the way that we are going to disarm these landmines. It's there. It happened. I get it. So what? Your destiny is waiting on you. No one's going to drag you. No one's going to come in and dig up those landmines for you. You have to do it. So I know I get passionate about this subject. I get passionate about wanting to see you succeed. It's because there is so much more in life for you. But you're going to have to get out of your own way. So we talked about the awareness. What is it? What is it? What is the pattern? What is the behavior? What is the situation? Great. We got it. Number 2 was we got to challenge the negative thoughts. Counter that negative with a positive. I can't. Yes, I can. When it comes up, talk back to it. And we're going to have to replace it with an empowering belief. We have to be able to empower ourselves. That empowering thought is going to have to support the goal or the mission that we're on. Then I said we have to be able to seek support. If it's going to be your therapist, if it's your coach, if it's a support group, in order to help you navigate these challenges and this landmine field that we're on, because we got to dig them up. Otherwise, you're going to stay stuck. And that same stuck place, I'm not going to touch it today, but maybe I will just a little bit, is your level of complacency. That's your comfort zone. So you think, oh, okay, I'm standing here and I'm on this landmine field, but I've been able to make some stuff happen. Have you? Or are you just so stuck in your comfortable zone where you've made it seem like everything is just going great? It's not. You're stuck. We see you. More importantly, you see you. And if you would have done the exercise that I talked about in the episode previous to this one, did you do that mirror work? Have you gotten to a place where you are no longer lying to yourself? Because when you look down, you haven't moved, but what you have done is you've created this environment around you to make it look like you're further along than you are. But there's so much more in front of you. There's so much more that you can be striving towards. And I get it that it can be scary at times. But I promise you, if you take a step, it'll be better. I promise you that if you let go of what you've been holding on to that's in your past, you'll run a little faster. So we're here to navigate these challenges together. And the next thing we're going to have to do, we got to take action. Back to what I said in the beginning, when you're visualizing those movies and they're on this landmine field, they're not still sitting there waiting on someone to show up and save them. They realize, okay, I have this mission. Someone has already blown up one landmine. Someone may have blown up a second one. But I'm going to take this time to stop and think, how can I get to my destination? Now you're taking action. You're gradually exposing yourself to the situation that has triggered the landmine while also practicing these new and healthier responses. Again, back to whatever that pattern is, behavior or situation that has you stuck. You have to practice the new thing. So we're challenging the negative belief? Yes. We're countering it with something positive? Yes. And we're not going to allow ourselves to be stuck here because there's so much more in front of us that we have to get to. So we're practicing all of these different things, and we're being mindful of staying present within ourselves, but also managing our reactions effectively as we're digging up these landmines. You're in a situation that's going to cause you to have to take some drastic steps, to take some steps towards the goals that you say that you want. And the landmines that are there, you've placed them. And so it's going to be your responsibility to dig them up. But not just dig them up as you're in the process of digging them up or disarming them. Deal with them. How did they get here? What do I need to do in order to make sure that I am dealing with this landmine? So that when life happens again, I'm not triggering this same landmine again. I'm not planting another landmine that looks just like this one. The whole point in our life, in this discovery, in this journey that we're on, is we are constantly moving. We're constantly moving towards a goal. We're constantly moving towards and within our values. We're always on the go. Every day, sun up, sundown, new day. Next day, sun up, sundown, another day. So nothing is standing still while you're standing still. Life is still moving. Things are still moving, but you're stuck. So I get it. I understand it. Trust me, like I said, I'm always on this journey with you. And then you may not be able to dig up every landmine at one time, but at least if you can recognize that they're there and begin to deal with them. If it's one at a time, start dealing with them. Your life will be better. Your relationships will be better. You will feel better because you're not having to tiptoe through life. You're not having to walk on eggshells through life. That's too much work. And you have too much work to do here on earth. You have an assignment. Each one of us has an assignment. And whatever your assignment is, you have to get out of your own way. There are people waiting for you to show up and be the best version of who you are supposed to be. That mission, it first starts with you. But just like when we're talking about this movie, they go through all of this warfare to get to the other side. And then there's mission complete. Now again, life is a journey, so you know that there's going to be another mission, should you choose to accept it. But I promise you that when you recognize where you're stuck, where you're stagnant, why you're stuck, it's going to cause you to be a better version of you, a healthier version of you. And you're going to be able to help so many people that are surrounding you or in your environment, people that are attached to you. You could be the one. They may be looking to you to come out first. And then guess what? You're going to now have the responsibility to tell them how you made it through. But will you accept the assignment? Will you, knowing that there's going to be some landmines that you're going to have to disarm and pull up, will you still show up to the mission? Fatigues and all, boots on and all, backpack and all, crying and all, hurt and all. We're here waiting on you. And you're not doing this alone. It's a group of us, because life just lights the sun up and goes down each day. We're all on this battlefield together. So will you join the mission? We're here. We're waiting. I'm here. I'm waiting on you. So let me be the first one to say congratulations. Congratulations on making it through your mission. Congratulations on betting on you. Congratulations on knowing that you are worth it. Congratulations in knowing that you have taken the first step to not only save you, but to save your family. Congratulations. Mission complete. So I thank you. I thank you for joining me today on this terrain and this adventure of the Heart's Hello Show. Where together we embrace vulnerability, learn from each other, and spread love, one heartfelt hello at a time.